As we speak, the New York Giants have finally decided on a new GM, and they picked former Buffalo Bills assistant GM Joe Schoenn. Now, this could be a good fit on paper, but this depends on what guys he drafts, and more importantly, what coach he picks to take over or and pick up the pieces that Joe Judge and his idiocy scattered all over the floor. Because let's face it, this team needs a lot of fixing going into the 2022 season. We all know this. The Giants know this, and I know it. How this is going to pan out, I don't know, but it should be a good thing for the Giants, for better or worse, to finally have someone from outside the organization instead of a Mara yes man running things. Mara can't stick his nose where it doesn't need to be. Shane can build the team's coaching core, medical core, and everything else how he wants to build it. And he can draft the way he wants to draft. And he sees that the biggest flaw with this team is the O-line. This is something that needs to be corrected, especially when you consider the murderer's row the Giants are going to be facing in 2022. Let me run down the opponents. Now, the dates have not been set yet. At home, they're going to be hosting the Bears, which hopefully won't be as much of a joke as it was the day after New Year's against us, as it was for the Bears, as it was against the Giants, as it was against Chicago. The Lions, who really turned it around at the back half of the season. The Colts, who just missed getting into the postseason. The Texans. Oh, and also the Giants haven't beaten the Colts since 2002, I might want to point out. The Texans, who the Giants have not lost to since 2002. So on paper, that's a winnable game. Carolina, who they trounced this past season, but Carolina was basically letting the wheels fall off from the QB post. Baltimore, who, like the Colts, just missed out on the postseason. Dallas, who choked away any semblance of credibility in the playoffs. The Eagles, who got their asses kicked by the Bucs, but that's to be expected. And Washington. I should keep in mind that a small number of these teams, Eli Manning never beat during his tenure. Two of these teams we're facing next year, Eli Manning never beat in his career. Those teams were Indianapolis and Tennessee. One I should say. Was it one or two? No, he beat Tennessee in 2014. The only one in this lineup he never beat in his career was Indianapolis. And that was both with and without Big Bro Peyton in the lineup. That being said, and of course, Washington, who's hopefully going to have a new name before 2022 starts off. I'm getting sick of calling them the football team. Their road games, on the other hand, that's where death row comes into play. Green Bay, and it's dependent on if Aaron Rodgers is still there or not. Minnesota with Kirk Cousins. Jacksonville, who's probably the only game on this road schedule, who in my opinion is a fucking cakewalk. Tennessee, who's the most sus of the top between the number one seeds. Green Bay earned their keep. Tennessee, on the other hand, just barely got the number one. Seattle, who doesn't know what they're going to do with Russell Wilson. Dallas and Philadelphia and Washington. So yeah, that's the 17-game schedule for the Giants going into 2022. I hope with the 5th and 7th picks in the draft, they get linemen, competent offensive linemen, as well as competent defensive edge rushers. This team needs a blocking core. This team needs a rushing core. Pat Graham has got to go. We do not need a soft zone defense every fucking game. And to anyone who doesn't agree with me, you guys are idiots.
Get Watson for the right price. You have.
My buddy Chris the Entertainer is doing his own video right now. And I feel like it's time for this squad to turn it around for better or worse. And let's hope it's for the better, not the worse. Because we've already seen how bad the Giants can get when they're at their worst. And it makes me sick when they get like this. I mean, like I said, how bad the Giants have been playing is the main reason I haven't taken my Eli Manning jersey out of the closet for almost 3 years now. I only wore it once or twice in 2019. And since then, I haven't taken it out and put it on. I mean, even if I had a Cam Newton jersey or a Christian McCaffrey jersey, with how bad the Panthers have been playing, I wouldn't put it on now. I mean, the Panthers haven't made the postseason since 2017 and haven't won more than 5 or 6 games since 2019. You gotta wonder how bad these teams can be because of stubborn, tunnel vision coaches, general managers, and owners who don't want to adapt. If there is one thing that many New York sports teams going right now lack, it is adaptability. I mean, sure, you could say that the same can't be said of the Rangers and Nets. They're the New York Rangers in the NHL and the Brooklyn Nets in the NBA, but they are the exceptions to the rule as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the Rangers are basically looking to rebound from the crap year they had in the bubble season last year. And they are well on their way to rebounding as they currently sit as the top dogs in the Metropolitan Division, where the Islanders sit bottom of the barrel because they started the year on a 14-game road trip. And when they finally got to UBS Arena, they were gassed out. Now they've started to pick up the play a little bit, but at this point, their best chance of getting to the postseason would be a wild card spot. But either way, for the Islanders, this year is definitely going to be a step back. And that's if they even claw their way out of the gutter and get one of the wild card spots. And right now, they're not in that position. If my calculations are correct. With that being said, a lot of things need to be fixed for the Giants. And they better get fixed soon. and they better get fixed soon. As and for now, leave a comment, smash the like, sub to the channel. I'm done for now. Mets 2128 signing out. Goodbye. Good night. Bang.